Hey, welcome to Facebook Live. I'm Dave Noriega with my co-host, Debbie Dujanovic. And every day after the show, we love to do this little Dave and Dujanovic debrief where we take the hottest topic of the day and we dedicate about 30 minutes to it. We want your comments. We want your thoughts. We want everything. And we're going to dive into it.
And this day, the hot topic is the gap year. Is your kid going to come to you in the next couple of weeks, months, and say, you know what, I just graduated from high school and I'm going to take a gap year? And if you're anything like me, you're going to turn to them and say, what are you talking about? I have no
You
clue.
going shopping?
Yeah, let's go to the mall. We'll take a gap year. I got a hard lesson in what gap year was when I got the lecture from my 18-year-old at the time, Katie, who came to me one day and after high school and said, I'm going to take a gap year. And I said, you are the smartest one of the three of you. You seriously cannot take a gap year. Like, you are our future doctor. You cannot take a gap year. And she like anchored down on, she doubled down. I'm taking a gap year. No.
So, did you have any idea what she was talking about? I mean, had you heard about it? Had you talked about it before with any of your other kids? Hey, Mom. Mom's on Facebook Live.
We need to ask
Mom, come on over.
We need to ask Mama Barb about when, if you ever threatened to take a gap year, which she would have done.
Here, I'll turn this off. Sorry, Mom's going by. There we go.
Okay, so you want to know what happened when Katie B came to Debbie D, her mom, and said, Mom, I'm going to take a gap year. Well, I had never heard of it before. Now, okay, have I heard of kids taking a year off between high school and college? Yes. I just never heard it called a gap year before.
And when they say gap year, they say it like, oh, you know about this, right? Everybody's doing it. And you're like, nobody does it.
Nobody does it. And I don't even know what it is. And so she explained it as a year off between high school and college. And I said, no, you can't take a gap year. It just doesn't make sense to me. And if you're going to take a gap year, what full-time and a half job are you going to be working to help support the household?
Full-time and a half job.
Full-time and a half. So I'm curious what parents would say or recommend to their kids as they kind of, what's your kids' plan? Are they planning to take a gap year? Or if not, why not? Like, what magic did you work to make them realize that, no, you got to keep going? And do we really need to make them keep going? So go ahead and leave your comment here on our Facebook Live, and Dave and I'll love to delve into a discussion with you about that and also get your perspective on it. So Dave, after my initial kind of mom freak out about the gap year, I decided to let it settle and let it simmer for a while and not simmer, maybe more like marinade for a while and let her think about it. I found that with my kids, that sometimes the less you engage with them and repeat the conversation with them, kind of the more the opportunity there is for it to just kind of go away. Mm-hmm. And she came back to me. She kept coming back to me with the gap year. And I just said, like, look, there's so many opportunities right now. Why don't you just at least go part-time? Now, she graduated class of 2018. Why don't you at least do part-time? And she really entertained that idea. But I did kind of demand, if you're going to do a gap year, you have to work. And I'm going to charge you rent. And I'm going to make you pay for some of the food. And I'm going to probably pass on the Wi-Fi bill to you. And as all of the, like, you want to be an adult right now, so you are, but you really want an adult right now. I disagree with you. You're living under my roof. Here's, my plan for you then.
How did that go over?
Well, we tend to get along really, really well until we don't. And so she kind of stood her ground on this one. But it was interesting because come August, when she realized that most of her friends that she graduated Brighton High with were going on to college, she kicked it into high gear and she said, you know what? I don't need a gap year. And now, believe it or not, so this is 2018, right? She graduated early with her associates from Salt Lake Community. She is now enrolled pre-med at the University of Utah. She just declared her major, anatomy and physiology, a minor in chemistry this week. I was weeding the garden. She came outside. She's like, "Mom, I did it. I didn't tell you about it, but I just went on and did it. I just officially declared my major at the U." So she's doing awesome now. And you know what? She's taking a full load of classes this summer. She took a full load last summer. She takes a full load every semester. I think she's taking 6 classes right now for summer school. 6.
I never took a single credit hour in the summer. The summer was for working. For me, I had to pay for the rest of the year because of my summer. But so it sounds like she wanted the gap year, but once the time actually came, she ejected on it.
She panicked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she panicked. I think she also was really starting to figure out what she wanted to do in life.
Mm-hmm.
And it was going to require many years of college. So if you obviously want to be a doctor, you have to go to college until you're probably 30, let's say 30.
Right.
Let's be fair, 28, 29, 30 years old. And as she looked at the gap year and pushing that further and further back, when she started to look at the timeline, I think she really felt like, if I'm going to do that, I need to get started. So I think what she was more than wanting a gap year was that she wanted to recover from the burnout from high school. And that sounds so kind of wimpy.
First world problem, right?
Yeah. But she did really pile on with the AP classes in high school, and also, did the, continuing concurrent enrollment classes in college. So she had some college with her under her belt by the time she went to college. So she really did pile on. And I think what she was feeling more than the need to take a step back was just the need to relax for a minute and catch her breath.
Yeah. And I have gone kind of back and forth on this. When I first heard about the gap year, I thought that's insane. Get to work, no excuses. You're just being lazy. And that's very much how I looked at it. And then we had an interview with a BYU professor and psychiatrist.
Psychologist Golightly.
Psychologist. Tom Golightly. And I think we have a couple sound bites from him who was talking about the gap year that totally changed the way I look at gap years. And I realized I had taken a gap year. In fact, I had taken 2 of them. So, Caitlin, I think we have some audio from Tom. Can we play that?
I would say if you're going to take a gap year, have a purpose for it. It's a specific job or experience or internship, and a lot of people serve church missions around here. Some might consider those gap years on a resume, but there must be a purpose for it, and it fosters our growth into emerging adulthood and doesn't keep us stuck in late adolescence.
Oh, and when I heard him say that, Debbie, it made me realize Dave Noriega in 1994 just graduated from high school, was a completely different person than the one that went and served a 2-year mission for the church, for my church. And I realized as he said that is a gap year. Mine was 2 years, but it was an experience. And I tell you, I came back to school and I was focused. I worked hard. I earned the money in a way that is shocking to me. And I think there's no way I would have been that college student right out of high school without having served a mission and had those gap years.
One of the things that I took away from our discussion with Dr. Golightly was that I did not approach my daughter's gap year declaration the way I probably should have approached it. Instead of saying, no way, we all work around here. We're hard workers. We don't take gap years. So I want to play part of that conversation as well, because there were some lessons I think other parents can learn, maybe not to take the same route I did. So let's listen in.
one of the dangers of a gap year without purpose or a plan or specific reason for taking the gap year is it can lead to a real stagnant state and a failure to thrive. And you get a real danger of being comfortable and stuck in not doing anything, or being stuck in kind of that entry-level job.
And I think I would have approached it more from that point of view. Is there's some real dangers of, and let's research some of those dangers.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to go talk to a college counselor as well, and sit down with somebody like Dr. Golightly and have them explain the pros and the cons. I would not have probably wanted to hear there's pros to taking a gap year as a parent, but at least let's get all the information out on the table, and let's make an informed decision as opposed to a rash decision.
Have you ever heard the term kidult? Kidult.
No.
It's a term, as we were kind of preparing for this, that's the term they have for these young 20-somethings that are having a hard time launching, really trying to break from this mom and dad take care of everything, high school attitude, to being real adults. And too often we soften the transition so much that we actually delay the progress of our children, and they become kidults, half kid, half adult, right? They're just kind of living in this extended adolescence, as Mr. Golightly was talking about. And I think, it's so important to, once you graduate, to make that leap and make that step and that transition into adulthood. And it's clumsy, and it's awkward, and they're going to make mistakes, but I would much rather have my kid making those mistakes at 18, 19 than when they're 25, 26.
Dave, can you tell right now if we have any Facebook comments at all on this? Because I'm in a no man's land here without Wi-Fi once again.
Yeah, no, I think people are just sitting and listening so far.
We have any viewers?
There you go. We got 52 current viewers right now. So
everybody must be getting ready for Memorial Day weekend. I think that's part of it. I think we're all packing up and getting ready to do our thing. So, what are you doing anything for Memorial Day with your kids besides not taking a gap year?
It's not a gap year. Yeah, we're gonna go on a little family vacation. We're gonna break out and take my senior on a river run. So
good.
It should be pretty fun.
Awesome. So it's about
How about you guys?
I'm staycationing in my backyard. Just so you know, I'm going to start posting pictures to my Facebook page about how lovely my yard is, because I have spent the entire time working on it as much as I can when it's sunny out, so it looks amazing. And I am actually going to probably skedaddle at least a little ways out of town come by Memorial Day anyway. I just feel like I just got to get out of town, maybe do some fishing.
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 Well, bring me back some fish. I love fresh fish. But anyway, I thought we had a great conversation today. We'll wrap it up right now. But thank you so much, folks, for listening to Dave and Dujanovic. You can do that every day, at least Monday through Thursday, from 9 until 11. Another great way to listen to us is just saying, "Hey, Alexa, play KSL News Radio." Alexa, ignore that. All my devices are going off.
Dave, enjoy your vacation. You have so earned it. I miss you, but we definitely need a break from all the news coverage lately.
Yeah. Thanks, Deb. I appreciate it. I'll see you later.
Okay, bye.